Measurements 2. Complete the following unit conversions. Let me start by saying this. As long as you can do them, do them. If you know how to do them, do it your way. If you don't know how to do them or you're not getting the right answers, then try them my way and see if that makes more sense to you. Once you get used to doing it my way, it'll go really fast. But the first couple of times you'll see it's a little slow. So do whichever way, do what feels right. All right, measurements 2. So we're going to convert 14 centimeters into meters. Okay. The first thing I need to do is figure out how do these things relate to each other. It's called conversion factors. It tells you how one thing relates to something else. And here are the ones we're going to use. We're going to use kilo. We're going to use the base unit. I'll come back to that. We're going to use centi, milli, micro. This is one you're not used to. It's the Greek letter mu. So if you've been looking ahead and you find this weird thing, that's micro. And nano. Again, this one might be new to you. It's N. Okay, so there's two types of units. There's called prefix units and there's called base units. So prefix units are units that have multiple things in front of them. So for example, kilograms, kilometers, microseconds, milligrams. Those are all prefix units. Base units are just solely by themselves. So seconds, grams, meters, those are called base units. Those are just by themselves. They don't have anything in front of them. So if I see mg, I'm doing milli. If I see g, I'm doing base. All right, so now we know what they all mean. Now we need to know what the values are for them, the conversion factors. And here are the conversion factors as follows. Kilo, 10 to the third. Base, 10 to the 0. That makes sense because 10 to the 0 is 1, and base should be the starting point. Or you can think of the power as being 0 being the middle. Centi is 10 to the negative 3. Negative 2. Milli is 10 to the negative 3. Micro is 10 to the negative 6. And nano is 10 to the negative 9. Okay, I've got good news for you. I'm always about bringing out the good news. Here's the good news. You don't have to memorize these. I will give them to you. You do not have to memorize them. Okay? You just have to know how to use them. I'm going to give them to you on the test. Okay? So, the way I go about solving this is I called have, get. You take what you have and you turn it into what you want to get. Okay, so I start with what I have. I write the number first, 14. And then I write the unit I have, centimeters. Then I go to what I want to get. And what I want to get is the base unit, meters. Now, I go through and I write the number values. So I find centi, 10 to the negative 2. I find base, 10 to the 0. And what you do is you subtract. Have minus get. So when you're subtracting powers, all you have to do is subtract the numbers themselves. The times 10 stays. So when I do have minus get, it turns into 14. 10 to the negative 2 minus 10 to the 0 is just 10 to the negative 2. Now, I don't want to leave it in this form. I want it in standard form. So now all you have to do is remind yourself, how did you do the expansion? The number told you how many places to move the decimal. The sign told you which way to move it. So 14 times 10 to the negative 2. I need to make it a smaller number, and I need to move it 2 spots. So 1, 2, 0.14. And now I have what I got, meters. So that would be my answer to number 14. Now, again, that took me a long time. It's the first time I'm doing it. It's the first time you're doing it. So it might take you a little bit to get used to it. But once you've gotten used to it, you can do it quite fast. You just remind yourself, have, get, have, get, have, get. So meters to kilometers. Have is 10 to the 0. Get is 10 to the third. 10 to the 0 minus 10 to the third is 10 to the negative 3. Move the decimal 3 places to the left. It's 0.25. Okay? I can do this in literally 10 seconds once I get used to it. So for right now, if this is new to you and you're getting used to it, do it, write it out, do it slow. As you get used to it, you'll go a little bit faster, a little bit faster, a little bit faster. Okay? Again, I don't care which way you do it. I just want you to be able to do it. So that takes care of number 1 through 5. Okay? Here's what you do for 6 through 15. MKS means meters, kilograms, seconds. What I mean is you need those units. So see how this is centimeters? That means it needs to be in meters. This is grams. It needs to be in kilograms. This is hours. It needs to be in seconds. This is already kilograms, so it stays. Okay? All you have to do for MKS is convert. Just be careful about what you're converting to. Okay, where are we, Tom? Oh, we're doing good. Doing good. All right, you need Lab 2 turned in. Almost all of you are done with that. If you're not all done with it already, make sure Lab 2 is turned in. If you're done with Lab 2, the next thing to work on is Measurements 1. If you're done with Measurements 1, move on to Measurements 2. How far should you be for next time? You should be started on Measurements 1, a good chunk into it. If you get to Measurements 2, awesome. But you should be getting into what you're doing. All right, I'm going to come around and see what questions you have. Some of you needed help with micro and nano, so I can help with that.
Is it cool if I can take a picture? It's kind of hard to see from that.
Yes, if you'd like to. Yes. And I can also stop this here.
Is this right here?